27 years. That's how long the invisible wall had existed between Eastbrook and Westbrook, two villages separated by nothing more than a narrow creek and everything more than ancient pride. But today, a stranger with calloused hands was about to change everything. The feud began with a pig. In 1997, Thomas Miller's prize pig wandered from Eastbrook into Westbrook's vegetable garden, destroying the county fair's winning entry. What started as damaged tomatoes escalated into war. Trade stopped. Marriages were forbidden. Children were banned from playing with those people across the creek. The water became a border no one dared cross. "Those people are not like us," parents warned, pointing across the narrow stream that had once connected two thriving communities. On a gray Monday morning, an old pickup truck pulled into Eastbrook Square. The driver was Samuel Cross, silver hair, gentle eyes, and hands that told stories of building things that lasted. "I'm a carpenter," he told Mayor Patricia Hayes. "Heard you folks might need some work done." "We didn't put out any job postings," she replied suspiciously. Samuel smiled. "Sometimes the best work finds you." He'd heard about the feud through a friend. What interested him wasn't the drama. It was the waste. Two communities, each with skills the other needed, slowly dying of stubbornness. That afternoon, Samuel made the same introduction to Westbrook's mayor, Robert Chen. Both mayors were wary but curious. "I've seen this before," Samuel told them separately. "Communities torn apart by pride. Give me 2 weeks. If you don't like what I build, tear it down. No cost." Both agreed, each secretly hoping he'd build something to spite their neighbors. Samuel camped at the creek's edge and began working. Every morning, villagers from both sides watched through windows as he cleared debris and dug deep foundation holes. "What's he building?" children whispered. Adults had theories. Mayor Hayes thought it was a wall. Mayor Chen assumed a watchtower. Samuel worked methodically, waving cheerfully but never explaining his project. "Where are you from?" young Emma from Eastbrook asked. "Many places," Samuel replied. "I go where bridges need building." "Are you building a bridge?" Emma's eyes widened. Samuel winked. "What do you think?" As Samuel's structure took shape, clearly spanning the creek, both villages panicked. "Absolutely not," Mayor Hayes declared. "We will not have those people trampling through our village." Similar words echoed in Westbrook's meeting hall. Both mayors confronted Samuel the next morning, arriving simultaneously from opposite directions with tools and angry volunteers. "This stops now," they announced together, then glared at each other for the coincidence. "We demand you tear this down immediately," Mayor Hayes continued. "Our villages voted unanimously." "No bridge," Mayor Chen added. Samuel set down his hammer and looked at both groups. "Funny thing about fear," he said quietly. "Makes people think they're different when they're exactly the same. You're both here, both concerned about the same thing, both protecting your people the same way, both terrified of the same outcome." The mayors shifted uncomfortably. "We're not afraid," they said in unison, then glared again. While adults argued, children watched. Emma from Eastbrook and Thomas from Westbrook came to observe Samuel's work at the same time each day, right after school. One afternoon, Emma's ball rolled toward the creek. Thomas waded in and tossed it back, the first interaction between children from their villages in 20 years. "Thanks," Emma called. "No problem," Thomas replied. They began talking daily, helping Samuel with small tasks. "Why do our villages hate each other?" Emma asked Samuel one day. "What do you think?" he replied. "Thomas says it's because of a pig, but that was before we were born." It seems silly to be angry about something that happened before we existed. Wisdom often sounds silly to people who prefer anger, Samuel said, but you two seem smarter than that. Despite opposition, Samuel continued building. His bridge was beautiful, arched gracefully over the creek, with carved railings that caught sunlight. More children gathered daily, drawn by curiosity. Emma and Thomas became regular fixtures, their friendship blossoming across enemy lines, while their parents remained oblivious. 2 weeks had passed. Samuel's masterpiece was nearly complete, but both villages demanded its destruction. That evening, old Mrs. Peterson from Eastbrook appeared at the worksite. She was 83 and walked with a cane. "I remember before the feud," she said quietly. "My best friend lived in Westbrook, Marie Chen, Robert's grandmother. We baked together, helped each other with our children." She paused, voice trembling. "I've thought about her every day for 27 years. This bridge, would it hold an old woman?" "It'll hold," Samuel assured her. "The question is, are you strong enough to cross it?" The next morning, Mrs. Peterson stood at one end of Samuel's bridge, cane trembling. On the other side, a crowd from Westbrook had gathered, including another elderly woman with a cane. The women stopped when they saw each other across the span. "Marie?" Mrs. Peterson called hopefully. "Dorothy? Is that really you?" Two lifelong friends, defying their communities and fears, walked toward each other across Samuel's bridge. They met in the middle and embraced like they'd never been apart. There wasn't a dry eye on either side. The dam of hatred cracked and crumbled. Children raced across first, led by Emma and Thomas, laughing as they finally met their mysterious neighbors face to face. Teenagers followed, drawn by curiosity and rebellion. Then came the adults, tentatively at first, then with growing wonder as they discovered their enemies were just people. Farmers comparing crop techniques, mothers sharing stories about sleepless nights, elderly men arguing good-naturedly about the best fishing spots. Mayors Hayes and Chen were last to cross, their pride requiring the most healing. When they finally met in the bridge's center, they shook hands awkwardly, then burst into embarrassed laughter. "A pig," Mayor Hayes said, shaking his head. "We fought over a pig that died 15 years ago." "The stupidest pig in history," Mayor Chen agreed. As celebrations continued, someone realized Samuel had vanished. Only his bridge remained, with a small plaque, "In memory of all the bridges we burn in anger, and in hope of all the bridges we build in love. SC." 5 years later, the merged community of Bridgetown thrived. The bridge had become its heart, decorated with flowers, hosting festivals, backdrop for weddings. Children played freely on both sides, businesses shared resources, and the infamous garden became a community space. Sometimes elderly residents gathered on Samuel's bridge at sunset, telling younger generations about the mysterious carpenter who reminded them that building connections was always stronger than building walls. 27 years of division ended, with 2 weeks of construction and a lifetime of connection. The real bridge hadn't been built with wood and nails, it had been built with courage, forgiveness, and hope.